guys, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have been doing awesome, great, fantastic, wonderful, and above all, great. I hope the Lord has been keeping you and blessing you and that you have remained steadfast in His grace. It is so good to be back with you guys. Welcome back to my channel, like I just said. Today, we're just gonna get candid about friendship. Not just friendship, but an honest friendship. And not just an honest friendship, let's go further. Let's go a little bit deeper. A brutally honest friend. For the duration of this video, just think to yourself, am I a brutally honest friend to my friend circle? Are my friends brutally honest with me? And just now, we're going to get into the definition of what being brutally honest means. So just think about that. Just have that in your thoughts for the duration of this video. Those two questions. Giving and taking. Right. So, being a brutally honest friend would mean telling your friends the truth, even if it hurts. And trust me, the truth can hurt. It can feel like it's a gut to your stomach, like you've been kicked in the stomach. It's a painful truth, but it's a truth that's going to help you in the future. It's a truth that's going to help you grow. It's a truth that's going to help you be a better person. So do you have that friend circle? And are you that friend to your friends? I'll give you typical examples for me. When I expected to have brutally honest friends, but unfortunately I didn't. When I was in primary school, remember from some of my videos from before, I've mentioned how I went through a lot of bullying in primary school. I was mocked, my head, my nose, the way I spoke back then before my voice broke, you know. I had this one friend, I won't mention his name. I walked with him, we hung out a lot, etc. And he really seemed like somebody who had my back, you know. He'd be my shoulder to cry and be like, hey, don't listen to these people, what have you. But turns out, he was one of the people who was on the forefront of saying these insults. I could not literally believe it. He was the one who was spreading those insults in the different grades, in the different classes. And I told myself, like I confronted him about it, and I asked him, dude, what did I ever do to you? You were my friend, you were my what? And then she's like, he had the audacity, well, maybe not the audacity, he just bluntly said to me, I was never your friend, I was just using you. Imagine how cruel that was for me to hear. Back then I couldn't stand up for myself, I was still kind of a punk, as most people would say, so it really gutted me, you know. My next example, which I can talk about, I was in university. You know, you're at an international school, you really don't know anybody. The only language you can all speak is English. So I befriended a Chinese friend of mine. Let's call him Matthew for now. And Matthew and I, you know, we really seemed like we were getting along. We were doing things very well, etc. So Matthew had made friends from China already. So I would sit with them occasionally at lunch, at dinner, and in some circles, you know. And at times they would speak their language when I was there. And I'd just be like, oh, okay, well, they're speaking their language. What have you, it's fine. But lo and behold, half of the conversations, if not all the conversations they would be having, were about me. They were insulting me. They were saying, oh, this black person, I can't say the words because they're literally vulgar words. So they would say that and say that and say that and say that. It's only a mutual friend of ours who was also Chinese who then pulled me aside and told me that, dude, these guys are making fun of you. They're insulting you. They're basically being racist to you, including Matthew. Matthew was the one who was going to these people telling them these things. And of course I was hurt because I thought, you know, like this is the guy I befriended and what have you. They become insulting, they become what have you. They mention some of my flaws, but they wouldn't even come to me and tell me about them. Similar to what I went through in primary school. I had flaws, I couldn't speak, I would stammer. But they wouldn't be honest with me and come to me and be like, hey, look, dude, you're speaking this way. Maybe you should try do this a whole lot better. You know, they weren't honest with me, and that hurt me. I wasn't always on the receiving end though, I'll tell you this. There were many, many times where I was not being honest with some friends of mine as well. I had a friend of mine who really stammered. Well, he didn't per se stammer, but he couldn't speak well. So he went on to volunteer for public speaking. And I just let him do it for the sake of saying that, okay, or maybe he can do better. Maybe he can maybe he can do it, I wasn't honest with him. But then he went up on that public speaking stage and he bombed. Though we were trying to psych him up and what have you, but we should have been brutally honest with him and told him that, dude, maybe public speaking isn't for you. You haven't had that confidence as yet to be in that place, And I hurt my friend. It took us years for us to get over that path, but I really did hurt him. All these examples, it just made me think recently just how important a brutally honest friend is. If you're honest with somebody, if you're really honest with someone, despite all their flaws, it will hurt in that moment, but later on they're going to even realize that no, Tanaka helped me, so-and-so was trying to help me. It will hurt in that moment. Some will be hurt, some will take it and be like, oh no, you're absolutely right, But no matter what, for the betterment of our friendships and for the betterment of being with that person, we need to be brutally honest. Let's go to the Bible. There was the friendship of Moses and God. God told Moses really tried not to be talked into leading the children of Israel out of Egypt. But God said that you are the one I have chosen to lead. You're the only one who can lead these people. And in that time he did. Though Moses tried to fight it, but God drew him back. And eventually Moses agreed and he saw it for himself. Then later on, when they were about to enter the land of Canaan, Moses got cocky and he thought that he could be above God. God told him, if you know that story, strike this rock to get water. But instead he spoke to it. He did get water though, but God told him that you are disobeying me. So for that, you're not going to get into the promised land. You're going to see it, but you're not going to dwell in it. You will die before that time. And unfortunately, Moses did die. He thought he could be cocky and what have you, but God was brutally honest with him and told him that no, you're not going to be cocky like that. And he paid a price for it. There's a story of Jonathan and David. Jonathan was a prince. He was the son of King Saul. And he knew what David was doing was right, what David stood for, and he disobeyed his father. He was brutally honest with his father, stating that, no, father, David is right, you are wrong. And Jonathan had so much to lose if you think about it. Jonathan was a prince. He was a prince and all its privileges that come with it. But he gave all that up because he was brutally honest with his father about how wrong he was, and he stood by David. Then lastly, Jesus and his disciples. How many times did Jesus say to his disciples, how many times am I going to be with you? How many miracles am I going to perform until you believe me? You guys need to believe that I am God. He was brutally honest with them. He told them when they were wrong. He told them when they were not when they were not believing. After all the countless miracles they saw him do, they still didn't believe. And every single time, whether Peter walked on water, whether Thomas doubted that Jesus was alive, whether the many miracles they doubted and they looked at each other, who is this man? How did he do this? He was absolutely brutally honest. He said a lot of things, but because that was friendship. And ladies and gentlemen, in our lives, that's what we need. We need that kind of friendship. We need a friendship of honesty. We need a friendship where we tell each other the truth. Do not be afraid to tell your friend the truth. If you love your friend, you will not lie to your friend. If you love your friend, you will stand by your friend and rebuke your friend when they're wrong. They're going to get mad at you. There's going to be a lot of comebacks. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to happen. But if you're brutally honest with them, like God was with Moses, like Jonathan was with his father about David, like Jesus was with his disciples, and we can have many, many other examples, that friend will thank you in the long run, and they will see the error of their ways, and they will actually see that your actions stopped them from performing a very big regret in their lives. Ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest in our friendships, in all our relationships for that matter. Let's be brutally honest. Let's make sure that we are helping our friends do better instead of keeping quiet and watching them fall and living with that regret for the rest of our lives. God bless you and keep you around.